These are your basic striking options from the mount or saddle position. If you have a neutral or transitionary mount or middle mount sitting right on his hips, options are what we refer to as piston punches. Piston punches are you bring your elbows up above your shoulders. This gives a little bit more drive and power through the target. So elbows get above your shoulders. You want to avoid these punches. Not that they couldn't irritate the person, but they're really not that powerful. We call them little rabbit punches. So up here. To a certain degree, you can even, for street purposes, control his neck, or sometimes you just put your hand right over his face and then open that hand up as the punch comes in. So piston, elbows up high, controlling his head or neck, or a hand over his face sometimes. Block his vision, move your hand, and then all of a sudden he's seeing his fist come in his face. Okay? Or you're just crisscrossing pistons. Straight leads or straight punches, so vertical fist. Things are tight. Maybe he's covering his hands, so you're trying to get in through tight spaces between his arms. Elbows come back to your ribs and just driving them in. So you're kind of punching with your body as they sneak in between his arms. If his arms are really tight, they're overhands. Okay? So you're going, instead of punching here, pistons to his forearms, just hit his forearms, you come over top. So your elbow flares out and you come up over around his arms. So they're called overhands. Elbow flares out and you come in at like a 30 to 45 degree angle. These are called overhands. You have hammer fists. Sometimes you might be covering, you post, and here's your hammer fist. Hammer fist is you're hitting with the bottom part of your hand like your pinky. And here's your hammer fist. So it's right here, coming over top. Okay. You also have reverse hammer fist, where it's here. And so you're hitting with your pointer finger knuckle. And reverse hammer fist. You can post and hit here. Reverse hammer fist, reverse hammer fist. And then you have an elbow. Okay? You post and you snip your elbow. It's called a horizontal elbow, sometimes a snip elbow. If it's from more of a free tie and you're up a little bit and you're coming down, you just slide it through. Okay? It's just like a tie elbow, but on the ground. A snip elbow would be if you grab his opposite trap or you grab his head. He's holding you in really tight and you're just kind of snipping your elbow. This is just kind of aggravating. It can develop cuts. So if you're in really tight, it's just a snip elbow. And you're snipping your elbow as opposed to a full horizontal elbow, dropping it down in. So you have your piston punches. Pistons, elbows high. You have your vertical or straight blast sometimes, tight range. You have your overhands coming up and over. You have hammer fist or reverse hammer fist. And you have your drop down elbow, horizontal drop down elbow, or a snip elbow. Hand on his trap, hand on his ear, and you're just kind of snipping, you're just kind of putting this bone somewhere on his head. Draw a cut or just kind of aggravate him. You set him up sometimes. I might start to go overhand, so he'll cover. Once he does that, I go vertical. So a drill could be overhand to vertical. Overhand to vertical. So we're almost setting him up to cover one area to open up another area. You can go vertical. He starts to cover tight, and you go over the top. You go over the top. And you're just constantly changing the angles. If I work an arm trap, so say he's covering, I can just pull the arm through, I X his arms, and here's my piston, or my overhand, or my hammer fist, or my reverse hammer fist. So it's just a way of trapping his arms, which we'll go over. So right now it's just the striking options you have from mounts. So again, pistons. Pistons, elbows high. Straight punches, vertical fists, hitting with your top two knuckles. Overhands, up over top, aiming for that temple. Reverse hammer fist, or I'm sorry, just regular straight hammer fist. Now reverse hammer fist. drop down elbow, where you're posting and your whole body's falling down on it. Or just a snip elbow, you're tight, you're just snipping your elbow across his brow line or even on the bridge of his nose from neutral. With striking, if you can get high, this sets you up really good as well. The higher you get, the much harder it is for him to defend. And again, even here, straight punches, overhands, piston, straight down, reverse hammer fist, power hammer fist, standard. Here's dropping down the elbow. Make sure when you do a drop down horizontal elbow, you post. If you don't, you're going to go flying right over top, lose your base and balance, and potentially escaping out the back. So post on those elbows, or the snip elbow. So those are your striking variations from a neutral, middle mount, or even from the high mount. Hello everyone, Bruce Lombard here, owner of Lombard MMA and creator of LombardMMA-FIT. I'm hopeful this instructional video is helpful in your learning and your future application of the technique. Please use the comment section below if you have any questions regarding this technique or about your martial arts training, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Check out LombardMMA.com for hundreds of more instructional videos, more home fitness workouts, nutritional tips, motivational quotes, training tips, and application strategies. Please subscribe to the Lombard MMA YouTube channel where you can get the most recent updates and new videos as they are posted. Thank you for training with Lombard MMA. Hope to see you back again soon.